biggest game of the state is here tonight from Pearland and the Rig. The battle of two top 10 teams for the District 22 6A championship as the 9-0 Manvel Mavericks come into town to take on the 9-0 Pearland Oilers. And now welcome upstairs, everybody, alongside the former Texas Longhorn Ken Moore. I'm Michael Silvers. Jeff Powers coming up momentarily. So here we are, the final weekend of the regular season, and no game bigger than the one here tonight between number 3 Manvel and number 4 Pearland. Ken, let's begin with Manvel. The D1 talent on both sides of the ball is absolutely staggering. We focus on the offense and their dynamic quarterback, junior De'Aaron King.
De'Aaron King is as dynamic as they come at the quarterback position in the state of Texas. 32 touchdowns on the season, only 2 interceptions. He's the type of quarterback that you want to lead your team into the playoffs. Highly taking care of the football, does not commit many mistakes. He wants to improve upon that 42-7 whipping that Manvel put on Pearland last year.
On the other side of the field, you have Tony Heath and his Pearland Oilers. They are hurting at the running backs position. They lost their number 1, Jacoby Butler, against Dawson about a month ago. The very next game, they lost Chase Foster to a broken collarbone. They had to call up DeVere Pinkston from the junior varsity before the Sam Rayburn game. So with all that said, the Pearland offense has had to lean more on the passing attack, and senior quarterback Jake Blumrick.
Yeah, and Blumrick, he's been tremendous as well. 18 touchdowns on the season, only 1 interception. He is much more than a game manager. Not as dynamic as De'Aaron King, but every bit the ball player that he is, and he wants to show what he's made of here tonight as well.
Let's check in downstairs with the third member of our broadcast team, Jeff Power.
Yeah, Manvel has outscored Pearland in their only 2 meetings, 84-35. They've scored 42 points in the last 2 times they played them. In fact, Manvel has won their last 3 games right here at the Rig. In fact, the last time they lost was back in 2009 when they fell to Dawson. But Manvel's led by their quarterback, De'Aaron King. You guys talked about how sensational he's been all season long. I got a chance to kind of see him up close and personal. He's a lot bigger in person than he appears on the video screens, but he can run, he can pass, he can do a little bit of everything. He's so dynamic when he has the football. Impressive statistics. Jake Blumrick on the other side, he's going to need to have himself a great football game, but he's got a lot of talent around him as well. Look for both these teams to mix the passing today more than they have been all year long. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll be right back with much more, including the starting lineups right here on Comcast Sports.
Buy a new Ford truck today at Big Star Ford and get a free Yeti cooler. How about an F-150, $11,000 off or $299 a month and a free Yeti cooler. Huge discounts, most for your trade, 0% financing, and a free Yeti cooler. $14,000 off F-250s. That's an F-250, $14,000 off or $399 a month. Or how about shop 24/7 BigStarFord.com, just 10 miles south of downtown Houston on 288. You drive, we listen.
The Pearland Oilers make their approach onto their home field against the Manvel Mavericks. 2-0 against Pearland in their school history, looking to go 3-0. The LSN Game of the Week is presented by Big Star Ford. You drive, we listen. A look at Manvel head coach Kirk Martin. He's the only head coach Manvel High School has ever known. Former tight end at UTEP, a 4-year letterman, led the Mavericks to a 2011 Class 4A state championship game appearance and a loss to Aledo 42-28. And Tony Heath, the old guard at Pearland High School, became the head coach of the Oilers in 1997. His team won the state championship in 2010 with an upset victory over Euless Trinity. Returned to the state championship game a season ago and fell to the Allen Eagles at AT&T Stadium. Cool night, finally. Some football weather in Houston, Texas, Ken Moore.
Yeah, definitely. Game time temperature 60 degrees, partly cloudy skies, 0% chance of rain. The winds are calm down on the field, a little breezy up here atop where we are, atop the stadium. But an excellent night for football, a little chill in the air as we prepare for this state championship type game tonight for the district title out in 22-6A.
Regardless of the outcome of tonight's game, it makes no bearing on the position in the playoffs for either school. Pearland is the top Division I seed, and Manvel are the top Division II team out of this district. The playoff scenario is very simple. There's 4 teams already in: Pearland, Manvel, Dobie, a victor last night against Pasadena Memorial. Dawson is in as the 4th team out of this district. But be that as it may, it doesn't mean that these 2 head coaches, Ken, are taking this game any less serious because they already know what's going to happen, where they're going to play next week. In Pearland's case, they get Deer Park at U of H. Manvel, they need to see what the outcome is of the LaPorte Channelview game. They both want the District 22-6A championship, the first one of its kind in their trophy case.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a huge game tonight. As you mentioned, the playoff scenarios are already set, but this is for the district championship. These are 2 undefeated teams. They don't plan on leaving anything on the field tonight, especially Pearland. This is a revenge game for the Oilers. They lost last season 42-7 and left a bad taste in their mouth, a taste that they took all the way to the state championship game. But they want revenge tonight against the Mavericks from Manvel.
Manvel have won their last 3 games here at the Rig, twice against Dawson. 2 years ago, 42-28 victory over the Oilers. Their last loss on this ground came in 2009 against the Dawson Eagles. Manvel will get the ball to start, so we'll get a chance to see their dynamic junior quarterback, De'Eric King. Nicholas Keller with a pooch kick. We are underway, taken at the 20-yard line, and a little flip on the reverse. Gary Haynes across midfield and out of bounds at the Pearland 40-yard line, angled out by number 24, Andrew Blanchard. Fabulous starting field position for the Mavericks.
Well, a little trickeration to begin the ball game tonight for the Mavericks. You see it here from ground level. Little flea flicker back to Haynes, and he'll take it up the seam to the left, gets it out into Pearland territory. The Mavericks will set up shop in great field position, 1st and 10 at the Oiler 40.
They'll be led out by their junior quarterback, De'Eric King. 2,043 passing yards, 32 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He has rushed for 8 touchdowns, and he already has offers to play at the next level. And on the first play from scrimmage, he finds an open receiver over the middle of the field. Sean Dykes, touchdown.
Check it, Matt Adams, the big. I was like Sean Dykes. That's correct. Correct. Little miscue there on the sheet, on the roster, but nevertheless, touchdown. The Manvel Mavericks strike first as they go up 6-0.
Opening play from scrimmage, the extra point by Montano is good. 19 seconds into the contest. A great kickoff return pays dividends as De'Eric King throws his 33rd touchdown of the season. He finds Sean Dykes for his 20th catch, and the junior scores his 8th receiving touchdown of 2014. Another look.
Yeah, you see Dykes just right up the seam, breakdown in the secondary by the Oiler defense. And the Mavericks strike first and catch the Oilers snapping on the kickoff and napping on the first play of the game. A quick strike, they're up 7-0. And the fans are excited on the far sideline as they look to go 10-0 on this season. We can barely catch our breath up here. Just settling in, and already a quick strike. Now we'll see if the Oilers can react. As they are in their black jerseys with the great numerals, the white helmets, and the white pants, and all the fans are on their feet here on the home sideline for the kickoff.
So they'll have to, Pearland will have to match. They are a strike-fast offense, the Manvel Mavericks, and they proved that with that one-play drive. From the 11, Isaiah Chaney across the 20, and then the numbers game catches up with Chaney, and so it'll be a first down and 10 situation for Pearland as they will be let out by their senior quarterback, Jake Blumrick, threw for over 300 yards for the second time this season, 2 weeks ago in Pearland's last game on the field against Pasadena Memorial. 12 touchdowns, an interception. He's been asked to do a little bit more due to the injuries at the running backs position. DeVere Pinkston, sophomore, will line up off the left shoulder of Blumrick on this first down and 10 play. Straight ahead, it's Pinkston to the 25, a gain of 3. Take a look at some of the Pearland impact players, Ken. And we mentioned DeVere Pinkston as the sophomore running back.
Yeah, Pinkston is huge. You look on the outside with Cody Williams and Ryan Diaz along with Jonathan Sam. Those will be the guys that Blumrick will target as he goes downfield tonight.
Pass over to the right side, incomplete. Ryan Desitel, the intended target. Contact made by number 23, Will Lockett, leads the team with 7 pass breakups.
Well, this is a Manvel defense that only gives up a little over 10 points per game on the season. And they are laying the lumber here to begin this one tonight.
Quickly, third down and 7 for Blumrick and the Oilers. They trail 7-0 after a 40-yard strike from De'Aaron King to Sean Dykes. Diaz in motion. Keeper for Blumrick off the play fake, and he will muscle forward to the 33 for a Pearland first down. Here's the impact players defensively for the Manvel Mavericks. D1 talent all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at Colin Scott and Jordan Carmouche at the linebacker position. Will Lockett in the secondary. He will have the task of trying to contain this high-powered Pearland offensive attack.
Carmouche has offers from U of H and Arkansas. Pre-snap penalties. We'll get a chance to hear for the first time from our referee, Ronnie Morgan. Offsides is called on Manvel. Last week for Manvel in their 70-0 victory over the Mavericks of Pasadena Memorial, they were penalized 4 times for 30 yards, racked up 608 total offensive yards against Memorial. Pearland's win over Pasadena Memorial 2 weeks ago, the Oilers put up 439 total offensive yards in a 30-3 victory. Run off the left side, Pinkston taken down by Steven Scott, number 52 for Manvel in his 26th tackle of the season.
Pearland running against that strong 4-3 defense of Manvel. As we mentioned, they have some big guys up front, but they are extremely fast and talented at all 11 positions on the defensive side of the ball.
Second down and 5. Throwback play, complete to Desitel, and he's got blockers. Ryan Desitel down into Manvel territory, all the way down, and he is forced out of bounds. We'll see where they spot him out. Maybe inside the Maverick 20 to the 24. 38 yards on the hookup and a first down for the Oilers.
Well, you see the tight end there. He chip blocks the defensive end, then lets him go free, slides out into the flat, and then he receives it and rumbles down the sideline. Huge gain for the Oilers as now they knock on the door as they look to tie this ball game up.
Colin Scott forced him out of bounds. First down and 10 for the Oilers on the Maverick 24-yard line. Blumrick on the play fake. Throws it towards the end zone. Desitel, the intended target. Blumrick a little too strong with the pass. Brandon Bell in on the coverage. Junior in the secondary for the Mavericks.
Bring up second and 10 for Pearland.
Mavericks come out and throwing the football here. They try to mix it up a little bit with the run game, but so far they've had success with a couple of throws downfield.
Well, Tony Heath, Tony Heath told us when it comes to the passing game and leaning on it because of the injuries at the running back's position. He's got weapons on the outside, so why not use them? Pinkston hit hard, short of the line of scrimmage, a loss of a yard on the play.
Pinkston brought down by number 11, Colin Scott.
Pinkston comes in on the season, 23 carries, 76 yards. He's averaging over 3 yards per carry.
Pinkston had 13 rushes against Pasadena Memorial, 46 yards, and a 13-yard touchdown. He was called up from the junior varsity in advance of the Sam Rayburn game. Win by Pearland on October 17th, 52-7. 3rd down and 11 for the Oilers. Blumrick fires up the seam, and a one-handed stab at it. A little overthrown. The intended receiver was Ryan Diaz. If Blumrick's able to connect, that's a 6-pointer right there.
Well, he had one-on-one coverage out of the slot. Just a little too much on the throw. You see the step he had on the defender. Just want to put a little bit of a touch on it. Anderson in coverage. But now Pearland will have to settle for 3.
Deontay Anderson just got offered by Oklahoma, but his offer sheet is huge. A&M, Notre Dame, Texas, UCLA, Michigan State, and Stanford. A 42-yard field goal attempt here for Nicholas Keller. 4 of 7 on field goals this season. And it's got plenty of leg, and it is good. 8:51 remaining in the first quarter. Pearland on the board. They trail Manvel 7-3.
Nothing brings a community together like high school sports. And for the Allegiance Bank team, our partnership with the community is a big deal.
From blood drives to food drives, to even the longest of rides, Allegiance bankers are committed to making a difference and an impact in the local community, providing volunteer hours and rolling up our sleeves as an active and responsible community partner.
At Allegiance Bank, we are your neighbor and your community bank. That's our game plan.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Big Star Ford. You drive, we listen. By Mr. Electric, we've got the power to make things better. By Allegiance Bank Texas, making a difference together. And by your local State Farm Insurance agent, Bert Simmons, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Pooch kick taken at the 22-yard line. And stumbling down is Reggie Hemphill, couldn't break that last tackle. And some deeper field position to start for De'Aaron King and the Manvel Mavericks.
That last drive by Pearland, 9-play drive, took 3 minutes off the clock, 42-yard field goal as Pearland trims the Manvel lead to 7-3. 8:38 remaining here, first period.
Manvel's offense averaging 510.8 yards per game, averaging 52.4 points per game. Pre-snap flag.
Yeah, you mentioned it. They have a good mixture. False start here to begin this drive. Second penalty of the ball game against the Mavericks.
Look at the
Look at their
Manvel impact
offense.
players.
Yeah, they 298 yards through the air, 213 on the ground. The ground game led by Quaylen Clay.
More penalty markers. Here's the Pearland impact players. Emil Jones, Zane Gonzalez leads the team in tackles with 46. Cordell Caldwell with an interception on the season is now inserted as a linebacker slash secondary man against this spread offense. De'Aaron King calls his own number and is dropped. He loses the football. They pile up inside the 25.
The Oilers had it momentarily, but it squirted free, and De'Aaron King fell on it, recovered his own fumble. Huge break that time for the Mavericks. And watch it here, just gets punched out. Looks like the linebacker Couldn't make out the number, but nevertheless, great job by King to fight for it and get it back.
May have been Quaylen Clay who was able to hop on it. Handoff to the left side. Breaking into the open field is Devon Penamon. Penamon to the Pearland 45-yard line. Came in with 408 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, and the junior gallops into Oiler territory.
Yeah, just a lead to the left side. Great blocking on the outside by the receivers. That opens up the floodgates, and he rumbles into Oiler territory. First down for the Mavs.
31-yard pickup as King will throw. Nobody open. He extends the play, fires it this side of the field short for Sean Dykes. He was being covered on the play by Cordell Caldwell.
Great protection by his big offensive line, giving him time to throw the football. Good coverage in the secondary by Pearland.
King didn't have to throw much last week in the win over Memorial, only 183 yards and 2 touchdowns. Quick flare out to the left side to Clay. Clay will stay in bounds, get tackled at the 40-yard line. A 6-yard completion, and it's 3rd down for the Mavericks.
This is where they excel, keeping other teams' defense on the field as they look to extend this drive.
From the 40, 3rd down. Quick pass, complete. Far side of the field, taken down at the 31-yard line. That's Hemphill. The commit to Texas with his 20th catch of the season, junior. Came in with 480 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns. King on 1st down. Fires down the sideline. Touchdown. Reggie Hemphill, his 9th of the season.
King's pass complete to a wide open number 5, Reggie Hemphill Maps with a Manvel Maverick touchdown.
Well, just like last year, Manvel going up top, and their fans on the far sideline, they're staying warm and toasty, but they're enjoying the show here in the first period. Extra point up and true. The Mavs with 6:55 to go in the first. Quite strike quickly. They lead at 14-3.
This is the one thing that Tony Heath did not want to happen, is Manvel scoring touchdowns, and in his one possession, only able to muster a field goal as their offensive series broke down, and Reggie Hemphill was wide open. 9th touchdown of the season for the future Texas Longhorn.
Folks on the 40 acres are definitely happy to see that production and welcome it to Orange Nation next fall. Now, the Mavs on the far sideline as they think about a possible repeat of what happened last year. And home team on the near side, they rise as one for the kickoff once more.
Over the offseason, Kirk Martin, head coach of Manvel, expressed the need to be more physical. Felt his team was embarrassed, his words, not mine, in the Region 3 championship game when they lost to Katy 56-14. On the return, Jonathan Sam up the right sideline, out to the 32-yard line.
On the return.
But he said that Katy is still, and quite frankly always, will be the measuring stick in Region 3.
On the stop is number 32.
He wants his team to be as physical as Katy on both sides of the ball. That's why he scheduled teams like Westfield and North Shore in his first 2 games of the season, victorious in both. Scores of 35-10 over Westfield, 42-17 over North Shore. Pearland will begin from their own 32-yard line, trailing 14-3 with 6:49 remaining in the first quarter. Quick pass to the far side. And a lost football as it was knocked loose of Ryan Diaz. Manvel say they have it, they have recovered. Costly turnover by the Pearland Oilers and another short field for Manvel.
Well, it is all going wrong for the home team tonight. the Pearland Oilers. Manvel looking to take advantage of every mistake. You see just a quick flare out to the wide receiver, and he just gets popped on the sideline, did not protect the football. The big recovery there. Looks like it was big number 94, possibly Gallegos. But nevertheless, Manvel will take over 1st and 10 once again in Pearland territory at the 38.
King alone out of the shotgun. 1st down and 10. Fires towards the end zone. Hagdorn, incomplete. No flag, good coverage downfield by Cordell Caldwell.
Not sure if the cornerback ever turned his head to look for that one. So if we get another look at it, but nevertheless, the Mavs come up empty on that ball.
Pearland defense allowing opponents 212.67 yards per game. See the one-on-one battle. Here's King. Look at the speed of De'Aaron King to the 10, 5, touchdown. 38 yards and another Maverick touchdown as the junior De'Aaron King runs for his 9th rushing touchdown of 2014. Capitalizing on the Diaz fumble, Montano out to make it a 21-3 Manvel lead. The kick is good. You have a marker down though. Hold everything, a marker down. It's going to be offsides on Pearland. Extra point will count, so we'll step aside. 6:18 left to play in the 1st quarter. Manvel out to a 21-3 lead.
Big Star Ford and get a free Yeti cooler. How about an F-150, $11,000 off or $299 a month and a free Yeti cooler. Huge discounts, most for your trade, 0% financing, and a free Yeti cooler. $14,000 off F-250s. That's an F-250, $14,000 off or $399 a month. Or how about shop 24/7 BigStarFord.com, just 10 miles south of downtown Houston on 288. You drive, we listen.
Now Pearland's got some work to do. 3 offensive possessions by the Manvel Mavericks. 3 touchdowns, 2 short fields to work with. Montano to kick it off for the Mavericks. Chaney has a seat. And Chaney takes it into Manvel territory. Isaiah Chaney. Touchdown.
Number 6, Isaiah Chaney with the
Well, that's a quick way to get right back into the ball game. Taking it to the house on the kickoff return. Isaiah Chaney, and that gets the hometown crowd in an uproar as Pearland looks to get right back in it with the extra point to come. Wow, talk about some quick strike action out here at the rig tonight.
Yeah, just what the doctor ordered. Pearland will be giving the ball back to De'Aaron King in this Manvel offense. The defense is going to have to come up with a stop.
Just as we were about to say that Pearland may be in a whole heap of trouble, Chaney saves the day, at least for the moment.
Extra point.
Wiggles its way
It's
through.
good. Snuck its way in. And Keller now 47 of 55 on PATs.
You see him take this one from the goal line. He finds a seam to the left. Look at the wall that they build. And he just takes it up the middle, down the left sideline, and to the house.
100 yards on the kickoff return. And certainly the Oilers back in it, trailing by 11. And we're not even halfway through the first quarter kick.
We're halfway through my stat sheet, I'll tell you that.
Oh, you should have known to bring more.
My goodness. This has been tremendous way to kick off week 10 here tonight. But as you mentioned, we'll see if this Oiler defense can slow down this Maverick offense that averages 511 yards per game. And they're well on the way to matching that here tonight.
Hemphill and Haynes back deep to receive. Whether or not Montano even gives them an opportunity, Keller gives them any opportunity, we'll see. And this will be Haynes trying to reverse his field. And I think he's got liberties to do that from his coaching staff, although this one well covered by the Oilers special teams unit. Manvel will have to go 75 yards to get back into the end zone.
Well, you look at what we've had so far. I mean, we're barely halfway through the first period. We already have 31 points on the scoreboard, a couple of turnovers, a 100-yard kickoff return, mixed in a 42-yard field goal. I mean, we have pinball machine action here tonight at the rig.
Back to work. De'Aaron King officially won the starting quarterback job in 2013 during the second half of the North Shore game, which ironically we were there for. He was splitting time with Stephon Kahn, but then Kirk Martin said it was his job to lose in the second half of that North Shore game, and even though Manvel fell short that night, Kings really never looked back. Here's a handoff to Haynes. Haynes on the end around, the jet sweep, and he's already back into Pearland territory. Thrown down at the 45-yard line. That's a 30-yard run.
Well, someone may want to put out an APB for the Pearland defense because they are getting shredded right now.
Tackled from behind. And a timeout taken on the field. But De'Aaron King moved in to Manvel High School before the 2013 season. Kirk Martin said that King came into his office and said, "Hey, coach, I'm new here. I want to play quarterback." Martin said, "Yeah, sure, everybody wants to play quarterback." But King earned his spot. And he's never looked back since the second half of the North Shore game. This team went all the way to the Region 3 championship game a season ago, lost 56-14 to the Katy Tigers. And I don't care what anybody says right now, the way this Manvel Maverick team is operating on offense, it's almost destined that they meet Katy again. And if they were in the playoffs, it's back in the regional championship.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, sometimes you have to go through those bitter defeats before you can experience the fruits of your labor. And of course, last season, King went into that game as a young sophomore. Now he's an experienced junior who's ready for that big stage.
On 1st and 10, here's a handoff to Quaylen Clay. Down to the 43-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup. Clay, 685 yards coming in. 11 touchdowns for the senior. Had 35 yards and a pair of touchdowns in their last victory against Pasadena Memorial. Runs of 5 and 1 yards. King throws. And again, this is Hemphill already with a touchdown tonight. Down to the 32. That's an 11-yard hookup and another Manvel first down.
Well, you see those Pearland defensive backs giving these Manvel receivers a lot of respect. They're playing 9 to 10 yards off of these guys. Look at the room that they're giving to protect against the deep pass.
5 minutes to go, 1st and 10 Mavericks. King with plenty of time. He extends the play, fires on the run, complete to Haynes. Haynes tackled in the open field. A good, sure-handed tackle by Justice Reese. Down to the 21, another first down pass play. And that is the 6th of the first quarter for Manvel.
And again, great protection by the offensive line, allowing King to find the open receiver.
Out of the gun, handoff. Big tackle inside the 20-yard line as Clay goes down. Zane Gonzalez, his 47th tackle of the season, came in leading the squad in tackles, stops Haynes for a gain of 4, or Clay for a gain of 4. throw, complete, in the slot, hip hill, touchdown.
They make it look easy, don't they? Just a simple curl route in the middle of the field. Looks like it's just going to be maybe a 7 or 8 yard pass play for a first down. But the athleticism of Hemp Hill and the strength to power himself into the end zone, and the Mavs have 28 in the first 8 minutes of this one tonight.
Third touchdown pass in the first quarter by De'Aaron King. The second time he's hooked up with the future Texas Longhorn, Reggie Hemphill. One more look.
End zone view. You get a chance to see what the defensive secondary is looking at of Pearland. And what they see is Mr. Hemphill trotting, squirming his way into the end zone for his second score of the night.
Well, here's your latest District 22 6A standings. Pearland, Manvel, Dobie, and Dawson have all qualified for the playoffs. Alvin, Pasadena, South Houston, Memorial, and Sam Rayburn will sit this year at home. Regardless of the outcome of tonight's game, Pearland is the top Division I team. The second seed out of Division I will be Dobie. Manvel, the top Division II team out of this district in the playoffs. And the second seed for Division II will be Dawson.
All right, football fans.
So the Oilers will get it back. Last time there was a kickoff by Montano. It was returned for a touchdown. High pooch kick this time. Taken at the 20-yard line and returned out to the 30.
I think that was Austin Dees on the return.
87 for Pearland.
Brings it up near the 30-yard line. That's where the Oilers will take over 1st and 10. And what Coach Tony Heath needs right now is a nice time-consuming drive to try to give his defense a chance to rest.
Our offense will take the field. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Pearland.
We look at Manvel scoring so far in this ball game. One play, 40-yard drive. That was the first play of the ball game to Sean Dykes. Hemphill capped off a 5-play, 71-yard drive. De'Aaron King with a 38-yard touchdown run, and Hemphill with a 17-yard touchdown reception as well.
That's DeVere Pinkston. Takes it out to the 35 for a gain of 5. Now, we mentioned Pinkston was a call-up for the junior varsity. Pearland, there you see him missing Jacoby Butler, senior, committed to the University of Texas, San Antonio. His numbers on the season at the time that he was injured in the second half of the Dawson game a month ago. And Butler, Coach Tony Heath told us, may be available at some point. It's a to-be-determined situation in the playoffs for Jacoby Butler and the Pearland Oilers.
Of course, the further they go, the greater chance he has of getting back. But obviously, he's going to need his teammates to pick him up and win a couple of ball games.
Kingston straight ahead, not much. Senior Joni Mejia there on the tackle, brings up a 3rd down and 5 for the Oilers.
Yeah, you see Mejia right there, big number 92, the right defensive end, able to penetrate into the backfield for a big defensive stop.
3rd and 4. And Manvel, this is a free play, and a handoff to Pinkston. Pinkston will eat yardage, get thrown down by B.J. Ojo, but all a free play and a 1st down forthcoming after the penalty will be assessed on Manvel for an offsides. Ronnie Morgan. Second time this Manvel defense has been called offsides.
Against the Mavericks.
4 penalties, 20 yards already here in the first quarter assessed on Kirk Martin's team. So the benefit of a 1st down, the 3rd of the first quarter for the Oilers, and they'll scrimmage from their own 40, 1st down and 10. Pass complete, and nowhere to go. Diaz on the receiving end, Bell on the coverage as we check in to Jeff Power down on the field.
Hey, look for the Pearland Oilers to make some adjustments here on their next possession defensively, because they're having some trouble keeping up with the Manvel receivers and the tight ends coming across the middle. So they might bring in an extra D back just to try to be a little bit more quick and fast out there on the defensive side of the ball. By the way, Pearland wearing their 10th different uniform in 10 games this season. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Jeff. Second down and 11.
Jeff, always the fashion expert.
Here's Pinkston. The speedster, just a sophomore, out to the 45-yard line, a rumble of 6 yards. Another third down upcoming for Pearland.
Yeah, and I kind of like the black and white look they have here tonight. Of course, the great numerals are kind of hard for us broadcasters up top, but other than that, pretty slick.
3rd and 5 from the Oiler 45, and a look over to the offensive coordinator, Mike Norman, for the play call. Kirk Martin told us he was very impressed with Tony Heath's staff. Hardly any turnover since his time here that started in 1997. Blumrick on the keeper. Out to midfield. It'll be really close. May require a measurement. Maverick still down after applying the hit on Blumrick. Slow to get up. Blumrick has certainly stepped up as of late, Ken. We talked about it in the open, with the Oilers leaning a little more to the passing game. Tony Heath told us when we were here for the Dawson game that this offense was just about as balanced as the 2010 team was, which won the state championship against Euless Trinity at AT&T Stadium. Blumrick now leaning a little bit more to the passing game. It's paid dividends.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, their numbers are pretty similar on the season as far as rush and pass. They pass for about 213 yards per game, rush for about a $187, 400 yards total. So they're a pretty balanced attack. Now, the thing that they have to be wary of going into the playoffs next week, you don't want to become one-dimensional where you solely rely on your young quarterback. You still want to have that diversity, and you're just going to have to find a way to get that running game going. And one thing that they're really going to have to lean on, they're really going to need that offensive line to step up, because they're going to need to create some bigger holes than they had to do before.
4th down and inches as you saw the stretch of the chains. I agree with the call, Ken, because you're down 28-10.
Absolutely.
And you haven't been able to stop Manvel yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's still the first period, but this is a big play in a big ball game where you want to establish some momentum offensively.
Jumbo package. Blumrick has the first down. Is able to find a hole and squirt through into Manvel territory. He gains 2 on 4th down and continues the offensive drive.
Yeah, that's huge for a couple of different reasons. One, it keeps the Manvel offense on the field on that far sideline and allows your offensive line to try to get into a rhythm moving the football against that strong defensive front for the Mavericks.
Pearland have outscored their opposition 388-69 coming in. They're averaging over 43 points per game. Trailing now inside the final 40 seconds of the first quarter, 28-10. On the rollout, pass complete to Jonathan Sam. He breaks one tackle, gets wrapped up by Uriah Hudson at the 41-yard line, picking up 7 on the reception.
And again, this is a Manvel defense that only gives up 10 points per game, just under 11. As we'll see if Pearland will not snap it again. And this first quarter will come to an end, and what a first quarter it was.
Especially if you are a fan of the Manvel Mavericks. They have an 18-point lead over the Pearland Oilers after 1 here on the LSN Game of the Week.
Savings with a discount double check. Gonna come in really handy with the baby.
You're all set. Let me make you a copy.
Ashley making copies, the Ashmeister.
Hi, Rich. This is Steve and Sandy.
Steve and Sandy and Steve-O Jr.
Actually, we're having a little girl. We're gonna name her Abigne Apollinaria.
Second quarter about to begin from Pearland. 28-10 Manvel on top of the Oilers. The Oilers are driving here to start the second quarter. They'll have it in Manvel territory, but how about the quick strike offense and the touchdowns from the Manvel Mavericks? Granted, they've had two short fields, but the two times they've had long fields, they've gone right down the field. Pearland has not been able to come up with the stop.
Well, it started with the opening kickoff. They had the huge opening kickoff return that got them down to the Oiler 40-yard line. First play from scrimmage, King to Dykes for a 40-yard touchdown strike that put them up 7-zip. After a Pearland field goal made it 7-3. Reggie Hemphill with a 31-yard touchdown reception made it 14-3. Then the Oilers fumbled on their second possession. That led to a De'Aaron King 38-yard touchdown run, and then they cap off the first period with another 17-yard strike to Hemphill, and that's where we are right now. Mix in a 100-yard kickoff return by Isaiah Chaney, and yeah, 28-10, just your average first period, and 22-6.
Glenrick finds Diaz for the touchdown. 41 yards. Pearland have again cut into this Manvel lead.
As I was stating, a lot of scoring for 12 minutes and add on 10 seconds and 7 more points potentially after the extra PAT. Wow.
Tony, he's got a smile on his face. Keller for the point after to cut the lead back to 11. And it's good. One more look at the pass play.
Look at that excellent pocket formed by the offensive line. Perfect strike for the score. And we'll go down to the field to Jeff.
Hey, we're standing by here with Trey Anderson. If the name sounds familiar, he played for Pearland back in 2010 and led them to a state championship. We were just commenting, you need a big play, and you just got it right there.
There you go. Yeah, we, Pearland never backs down. So it's good to see them execute and, still in this game.
You beat Euless Trinity back in 2010. What do you remember about that game? Tell me about that dead man play y'all ran.
Yeah, I know that was a big deal on ESPN and all that. It was, Coach had drawn up the play, and we had gone over it every week, for 16 weeks or whatever it was. So we were finally able to use it. It was a perfect situation for it, and it worked out.
You're at Pitt these days. Your thoughts just about how things are going with the Pitt and yourself?
Yeah, it's going great. We have, we've been about 6-6 for the past couple of years, but we have a great new coaching staff in, and great players. And, we're looking to turn the program around.
All right, let's send it back upstairs. Thanks, Trey.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Jeff. And, of course, Trey Anderson as coming back home. And what a game it was at AT&T Stadium against Euless Trinity. Not many people outside of Pearland gave the Oilers much of a chance in that game. And they had a matchup and a victory to remember. That was a year that they were a Division I team. Katy was a Division I team. Those two met at Rice Stadium just down the road. Epic showdown, and Pearland came out on top. They would go on to defeat San Antonio Madison the following week in the state semifinals.
Yeah, that was a great run for the Oilers to capture that state championship.
Handoff, and Quaylen Clay off tackle right gets to the edge, forces his way out of bounds at the 31-yard line, a 6-yard rumble. Zane Gonzalez leading him out on the play. He'll stay in bounds, keeping the clock moving. King on a design run, squirts up right through the middle of the line, gets a first down out to the 43-yard line, gaining a dozen.
Notice Pearland only had 2 defensive linemen on that play, trying to protect against the pass. Let's see what kind of defensive alignment they come up with here.
They run a 4-2-5.
3 down linemen now.
On the reverse, Haynes with a flag down. Haynes stays on his feet and is down to the 36-yard line. It's a 21-yard play, but a penalty marker is down, and so too is a Pearland Oiler.
Number 2, Gary Haynes on the carry. We have flags on the play.
And of course, going into the playoffs next season, neither coach wants to accumulate any injuries here tonight. And that's why there was some talk throughout the week of possibly some players resting here this evening, even though this game has a lot on the line as far as bragging rights and a district championship. It's going to be a chop block.
Wow. And that's a big penalty. That's 15 yards.
Yeah, that's a major. Hobbling off the field, big number 86, Ronnie Frazier. Looks like he's okay. May have just gotten shaken up a bit. But that's one thing the coaching staff kind of had to tussle with this week. And I think if we get into the second half and the game gets out of control, you'll start to see some of those second and third stringers go in. But as long as this game is within reach, especially of the Oilers, these starters are going to continue to play.
That penalty will drop Manvel back to their own 28-yard line. It'll be first down at 25, but they were backed up on 2 false start penalties in an earlier possession in the first quarter and have no problem gaining that yardage back and going all the way down for a touchdown. They've yet to be stopped. And King, with plenty of time, avoids the pressure, throws on the run, complete to Gary Haynes at midfield, and they just about got all of it back. And that was the one fear of Tony Heath. He saw it last year. He's getting a good first-hand look again at Derek King extending plays.
Well, you have to have a spy assigned to Derek King. They go with the 3-man rush. They drop 8 in coverage, but they had no one to spy on the quarterback, and he's too quick and too elusive for them to bring him down.
Pass complete to this side of the field. Todd Maxwell, his first reception of the game, to the 43-yard line in Pearland territory. Pickup of 7 on the pass play.
Usually what you want to do against a guy like King, you want to have that rush come in from the inside, then you can corral him from the outside, force him to go east and west.
And off. Tough running for Devon Penamon. No gain on the play.
Number 21, Devon Penamon on the carry.
You'll see a lot of teams against a scrambling quarterback. They'll come with what you call a double A blitz, where you'll have linebackers shoot right between the center and guard on both sides, put pressure in the face of the quarterback.
Derek King reminds Tony Heath of another quarterback he faced in the state championship game last year, Kyler Murray of Allen. King will fire on the run. Incomplete over on the far side. Hagdorn was the intended receiver. Caldwell there in coverage.
That time you saw the blitz come from the right side. Watch it here. That'll force King to scramble east and west. See him have to roll to his right, throw on the run. That time he's inaccurate, a low throw. That's what you want to force him to do.
Breaks a string of 4 straight completions. King 8 of 11, 139 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Third down and 10. Pearland Oiler fans making noise. King will keep it himself, call his own number, and will get very close to the first down.
Number 10.
Deontay Givens, senior defensive end, brings him down. Measurement may be required, but even if they are short, I think Kirk Martin thinks this is 4-down territory, especially with inches to go.
Yeah, design quarterback draw, a good block up front, big number 71, Mackenzie Wara leading the way. Derek King just picking his way close to a first down.
First down. Defensive coordinator for Pearland is James Farmer. He must be scratching his head right now. What he has to dial up to stop this Manvel attack. First down and 10. The Mavericks will scrimmage from the Pearland 34. King forced to scramble. 180s. Looking for an open man. Oh, there's flags down. He does fire to an open Reggie Hemphill. Another flag thrown. Hemphill stays in bounds and tippy toes and dances out inside the 20-yard line.
Well, I think you're going to have an illegal lineman downfield. All that scrambling by King. The big fellas thought he was going to run, and he pulled it back and decided to pass. Now, I'm not sure what the flag is on the opposite side of the field, so we may have offsetting fouls here. Watch King here on the play action. He'll roll here to his right. You see a couple of the big bodies downfield as he reverses his field. They're downfield blocking.
And you can only cover these receivers for so long.
There's a horse collar, possibly.
Officials are sorting it all out. Ronnie Morgan talking with Tony Heath. Which usually means that the penalty and the markers that will be assessed here will be on Manvel. Lock in the back. That's the 6th penalty called in this first half against Kirk Martin and his Manvel Mavericks.
Their offense is so explosive.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
They make it up in one play.
They just have so much speed at all the skill positions. It's really hard for Pearland to keep up.
They had a 1st and 20 back in the first period. That evaporated. They had a 1st and 25 earlier this possession. Evaporated. Now it's 1st down and 20. Ball resting on the Pearland 44.
1st and 20 for the Mavericks.
3 receivers in the lineup. Hagdorn in a slot to the bottom of your screen. Pass right side complete to Hemphill. Check it, Haynes. And there's a 1st down. The 1st and 20 evaporated.
It does not matter.
22 yards on the hookup as Gary Haynes hauls in his 3rd catch of the night.
That's just De'Aaron King saying, my guy is better than your guy. Go up and get it, grab it, 1st down, step out of bounds. It looks like we're going to have a timeout.
8:22 left in the first half. 28-17 Mavericks.
Discount double check. Gonna come in really handy with the baby.
You're all set. Let me make you a copy.
Ashley making copies, the Ashmeister.
Hi, Rich. This is Steve and Sandy.
Steve and Sandy and Steve-O Jr.
Actually, we're having a little girl. We're gonna name her Bigne Apollinaria.
Steve's kid. Steve and Sandy getting it done. More people-orama.
Making savings with a discount double check. State Farm.
If you're anything like most Texans, you're always on the go. Good thing First Community Credit Union's mobile app makes it easy to do my banking anywhere, anytime. I have Texans checking, even mobile deposits, and text banking. Join me on the FCCU winning team. Go online today and experience a first-rate difference.
Be a part of the team. Sign up for Texans Checking today. First Community Credit Union, the official credit union of the Houston Texans and personal choice of Brian Cushing.
Mentioned our impact players earlier. Those impact players, a look at those impact players brought to you by First Community Credit Union. Think first. 1st down and 10 Manvel from the Pearland 22. Hand off to Clay. Hit as he loses the football. Pearland have recovered. Zane Gonzalez picks up the loose ball. It was jarred loose from Quaylen Clay. And Pearland with a big defensive stop. Get the ball back for their offense.
Well, those are the type of plays that the Oilers are going to need to give the ball to their offense. Watch the inside blitz here and watch the hit right there on the tailback. Clay coughs it up, and the big-time recovery, and Pearland is in business, trailing 28-17. See if they can move down the field and possibly make this a one-score game.
It was Eddie White who knocked it loose. Pearland will start from their own 25. Give. Goes to Pinkston. Out to the 30-yard line, a gain of 5 on the play.
And off to number 45, Javier Pinkston.
As you mentioned, Pinkston just a sophomore. Not a lot of speed. What you want from this young kid is just to protect the football, get as much as you can on each and every play, not make any mistakes, and give it back to the Mavericks.
Wonder how he felt when he got the call from head coach Tony Heath saying, come on up, we need you on the varsity. Back before the Sam Rayburn game. Back on the ground, Pinkston to the 40-yard line. 10 yards on the run and a first down for the Oilers.
Whenever you're on the sub-varsity for the entire year, and your season's virtually over, and you get that call up, that's a big-time moment for a young kid, I tell you.
7:20 and counting. Left in the second quarter, 28-17 Manvel. Coughed it up on a run by Quaylen Clay. White knocked it loose. Gonzalez on the recovery. Back to work, the offense of the Pearland Oilers trailing by 11. Keep it on the ground. Pinkston off the edge. Pinkston into Maverick territory. Speeds down the sideline, taken down and out of bounds by junior safety Deontay Anderson. 37 yards for Pinkston.
Well, we talked about it on that last possession. The offensive line starting to make a name for themselves, starting to get into a rhythm offensively as the Oilers start to control the line of scrimmage against that tough Manvel defense.
Desitel, the tight end, will line up to the right side of the formation in as a wing. Cody Williams lined up to the bottom of your screen on 1st and 10. Quick pass, complete. Diaz. Can't get a block in the front and picks up 2 yards.
Erland Hudson on the tackle. Good job on the far sideline defensively that time. Short gain, 2nd and 8.
Blumrick has completed 5 straight. 6 of 9, 94 yards and a touchdown. 4th reception for Diaz, who has the Pearland touchdown from the Blumrick pass. He also has a fumble, but he atoned for it with the touchdown. 2nd down and 8. Keep it on the ground this time. And Pinkston inside the red zone to the 18. Rumbling for 3.
Yeah, this is exactly what Coach Tony Heath does. It gives that defense, you see there, gives them a chance to breathe, give them a chance to relax and get themselves ready for the next possession. Start to roll that clock, try to wear down this Maverick defense.
3rd down and 5 for the Oilers. They'll scrimmage from the Manvel 18. 4 receivers in the lineup. Blumrick on the pump fake, throws complete, inside screen to Sam. Jonathan Sam will be right at the marker as he goes down to the 13. Hudson there to secure the tackle. And they're going to move the chains. It's a first down for Pearland on their 2nd 3rd down conversion of the half.
First down, 1st and 10 for Pearland.
Coming down to 5 minutes remaining, 2nd quarter. Mavericks with an 11-point lead, but the Oilers are threatening. Trying to capitalize on the Clay fumble. Back on the ground, Pinkston finds the hole, and he surges down to the 6. Give him 7 more. That's 76 on 11 carries here in this first half.
And offensive line just moving the Mavericks backwards. Good interior blocks that time. Big number 57 in on the action that time for the Oilers. Joseph Williams with a key block on that play.
Ojo tackling for the Mavericks. 2nd down and 3. Under center for the first time is Blumrick. And a timeout rushing onto the field. Oiler head coach Tony Heath to call the timeout.
Their 2nd timeout of the half. Or actually, maybe their final timeout of the half, according to the scoreboard.
We'll look over at the Manvel sideline and head coach Kirk Martin. His defensive coordinator, Flash Burns. He's had the same assistant coaches since he opened the school in 2006. Larry McRae, the offensive coordinator, Flash Burns, the DC. He said his greatest talent is finding assistant coaches. That's what he told us on Wednesday in our conference call.
Well, it's a very unique skill set to have, where you can be that leader of men, and mold them in your own way to lead a group of 50 or 60 young men to put together a program the way that Manvel has done in a short period of time, and to be able to challenge a team like Pearland that's been here forever.
Talk about the Manvel defense. We asked Kirk Martin to compare this defense to the team that reached the state finals in 2011 in a loss to Aledo. He said they're very comparable, but he at this time still gives the edge to that 2011 team. Held Jonathan Gray, now at the University of Texas, who set all sorts of rushing records in his career at Aledo, to a single touchdown in that state final.
Sometimes
back to work.
It's not your best teams that actually win the championship. It just depends on who you're going up against.
Kingston gets the pitch. Kingston stopped at the 5.
He ran into a brick wall that time.
Kingston on the carry.
Gains a yard.
Yeah, down at the bottom of the pile. Trying to make out that number for Manvel. Looks like it was big number 91, Tyler Fuller.
They say Pinkston was stopped at the line of scrimmage. So it's 3rd down and 3 for the Oilers.
8th play of the drive coming up after the fumble recovery back at the 25. We may be in 4-down territory again.
Blumrick on the end around at Diaz. He's got a long way to go. He'll at least get the 1st down, though, before he is hammered out of bounds.
A good job by Diaz to escape the loss.
Leonard
As
Owens
he comes on
hit.
the jet sweep reverse, avoids the tackle, the lunge by Joey Mahea. He's able to pick up the 1st and goal.
So they convert the 3rd down. Owens rattles Diaz, another timeout.
This is going to be a Manvel timeout. So both teams using their full allotment here in the 1st half.
Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Big Star Ford. You drive, we listen. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By the Texas Renaissance Festival, lift up your cares. And by Neighbors Emergency Center, experience the neighbor's difference. So now it is 1st down and goal, Ken Moore. If you're the offensive coordinator, Mike Norman of the Pearland Oilers, what are you dialing up?
You keep doing what you do. You give it to Pinkston behind this big offensive line. They have a lot going for them right now, a lot of momentum going. You don't want to get too fancy. You got 4 downs to get 2 yards.
1st and goal from the 2 with 3:25 left in the 1st half. And again, Pearland trying to capitalize on the Quaylen Clay fumble. As Manvel, in their last offensive series, had a 1st and 25. No problem. They gained that and then some. They had a 1st and 20. No problem. Got out of that and more. But then Quaylen Clay just had the ball jarred loose. And Pearland have taken it all the way down to the Maverick 2. Jumbo formation. Pinkston straight ahead runs into a wall on the interior line of this Maverick defense. Leonard Owens leading the way along with Austin Taylor.
Well, they went with the full house backfield that time. That allows the Mavericks, it looks like they have a shaken up Maverick on the field. That allows them to get into their goal line defense. In these situations, I like staying with your standard offense. That way you don't have a big jumble in the middle, especially when you're going up a big, strong, tough defensive front 7. It limits your opportunities. So another stoppage of play, this time an injury timeout. There's a Maverick shaking up near the goal line.
You even see the concern on Tony Heath's face for the injured player. and you're in that jumbo tight formation, you have 3 in the backfield, and Pinkston hasn't had success when everything's bunched up like that.
Yeah,
when it's a little bit more open, he's been able to find a hole or even get to the outside.
Exactly, and he's not a big back. He needs a lane. He doesn't need much, but he does need something to get through, and oh my, this would be a huge loss for the Mavericks. D'Angelo Galagos, he's putting some weight on both legs, so hopefully he's just a little shaken up.
Pearland have Deer Park in the first round of the 2014 postseason Division I in Class 6A. That game will be at TD ECU Stadium, the new University of Houston Stadium. Manvel will get either LaPorte or Beaumont Westbrook. Depends on the outcome of the LaPorte Channelview game going on tonight. Same formation, 2nd and goal from the 2. Handoff, Pinkston, touchdown!
That time, Pinkston ran off tackle behind big number 54. That would be Justin Lilly, led him into the end zone. So they didn't run at the interior of the Maverick defense. They went off tackle and got in for the score.
4th touchdown of the season. In the 3rd game of the year for Davier Pinkston, who was called up from the junior varsity before the Sam Rayburn game on October 17th. Keller to tack on the extra point. And he nails it. 2:40 left here in the rig in the first half. 4-point lead for the Mavericks.
Nothing brings the community together like high school sports. And for the Allegiance Bank team, our partnership with the community is a big deal.
From blood drives to food drives, to even the longest of rides, Allegiance bankers are committed to making a difference and impacting the local community, providing volunteer hours and rolling up our sleeves as an active and responsible community partner.
At Allegiance Bank, we are your neighbor and your community bank. That's our game plan.
If I get pneumonia,
Break my arm.
need to know if my pain is something more.
I know I can trust Neighbors Emergency Center to save me.
They save my time.
They'll save me from missing the championship.
They'll save me from missing my meeting.
They'll save me from missing the chance to walk her down the aisle someday.
They save me. He saves me.
You save me.
Neighbors Emergency Center saves lives.
Neighbors Emergency Center. Care that counts. Experience that matters.
Kickoff by Nicholas Keller. Haynes 2 yards deep in the end zone. Haynes to the outside. Galloping, high-stepping out of bounds.
Boy, he's fun to watch, isn't he?
Marked out of bounds at the 37-yard line. 2:31 to work with for De'Eric King, his team trying to recover from the fumble in their last possession committed by Quaylen Clay. And the Pearland Oilers, Ken Moore, have cut the lead to 4.
Wow, what a drive for the Oilers after that fumble recovery. 11 plays, 75-yard drive, took 5:35 off the clock. 2-yard touchdown run by Davier Pinkston. Extra point was good. We have a ball game, 28-24, 2.5 minutes to go before halftime.
Last year, Manvel defeated Pearland 42-7. De'Eric King, you see him on your screen, threw for 4 touchdown passes. 1 each to Haynes and Hemphill. Hemphill has 2 touchdowns already as King will fire on first down and fire it complete. Well scouted, this Pearland defense. No gain on the pass play. Completion to Reggie Hemphill.
The Oilers starting to bring that pressure up the middle like we talked about. 3-man rush. Then they bring one of the inside linebackers, force King to throw it early.
5 receivers in the lineup. And Haynes started early in his slot position at the top of your screen. That is the 7th penalty called on Manvel here in this first half.
Well, none of the penalties have slowed them down thus far. The only thing that really stopped them was the turnover.
It's like we wanted to do that anyway.
They've had 5 possessions, 4 touchdowns, and 1 fumble.
So 2nd down and 15. Mavericks will scrimmage from their own their own 32. Haynes got it on the end around. Flag on the play at the 41-yard line at the point of attack, and Haynes is out at the 42. It's a 10-yard run, but we'll check the penalty flag.
Yeah, I think it's going to be against the wideout for holding.
Ronnie Morgan talking with the coaching staff. Tony Heath says, yes, back him up. Yes, we want him to go backwards. The further, the better.
So do the fans. Back him up, back him up, back him up. Oh, boy, sellout crowd.
We don't mind if they want to try to kill themselves.
Exactly, exactly.
Or make it more difficult, at least. This game is for the first ever District 22 6A championship. If Manvel were to be fortunate enough to play for a state championship at AT&T Stadium in late December, the Division II 6A final is the first of the two. So whoever wins that state championship game will have the distinction as the very first 6A state champion in Texas.
Absolutely, and that's a big trophy that you definitely want to put on your mantle. You definitely want those bragging rights.
They do know, though, the Mavericks, that in order for them to even get to AT&T Stadium, they will likely have to do battle with the defending regional champion, Katy Tigers. They know they are certain to cross their path at some point. They will have to defeat them, knock them down. Katy usually virtually assured to go 4 rounds deep each year. Second down and 15. King will throw up the seam to Hip Hill, and it's knocked away. Bryson Drennan there in coverage for the Oilers.
Bryson Drennan and number 5, Daniel Petty.
So now it's third down and 15.
Don't tell that Katy story to LaPorte.
It took a special team, and that's usually what has to happen. I think everybody would agree. It takes a special team to knock Katy out before the regional final. LaPorte did it not too long ago in the regional semifinals. On 3rd and 15, King, plenty of time, fires at the sideline, and it's almost intercepted, and in fact, it should have been by Justice Reese at his own 40-yard line. However, Pearland's defense has made another stop, and with 1:29 remaining on the second quarter clock, we'll go back to work on offense, pending nothing happening negatively on this punt by Manvel.
Well, again, excellent coverage this time in the secondary. Pass slightly underthrown by King that time, and a near INT.
King's only been picked off twice this season.
For the first time tonight, we'll get a look at Lucas Harville.
Ryan Diaz ready to receive this kick. Pressure comes, not a good kick.
Doesn't get much practice.
Flag is down. It does take a Manvel bounce and rolls down to the 31 in Oiler territory. It's a 37-yard punt, and again, we'll check markers that are on the field. An opportunity for the first time, Ken, for Pearland to take the lead.
Absolutely. Now, they have no timeouts remaining, so it'll be interesting if Coach Tony Heath is going to be aggressive here.
All right, now here's the question. Ronnie Morgan calls for a hold on Manvel. If you're Tony Heath, do you take the yardage as is? Will it be tacked on to the end of the kick, or would it need to be assessed before the kick takes place, because we don't know if the hold took place before the kick,
right,
or during the coverage?
Yeah, and that's the conversation they're having right now, and here's our answer.
Nope, decline it. First down, Pearland.
Okay. So, line up at the 31.
Penalty is going to be declined. Oiler offense will take the field. It's going to be first and 10 for Pearland.
Now, what you don't want if you're a Pearland is to have a turnover and shift the momentum right back to the Mavericks before you go in for halftime. So you want to call some safe plays here, maybe a draw, maybe a screen pass, maybe a running play here on first down to see how much yardage you can get, and that will dictate what you want to do on second and third down.
Back to work, Blumrick, Pinkston off his right shoulder. Sam will line up the top of your screen, Diaz in a slot, and Pinkston will begin this offensive series with a run that basically goes nowhere.
Yeah. So you have a run for no gain here, so you're not going to be in a big hurry because you don't want to give the football back to Manvel. So you're going to take your time, run your normal offensive set, and if you can pick up a big gainer here on second down, you may have an opportunity to move the ball down the field, but they're going to play it conservative here.
Right, and Pearland, again, as Ken has mentioned, without any timeouts in their pocket. So they'll play it conservatively. Now, Manvel not trying to stop the clock themselves either with a timeout. They've got 2 remaining. Keep it on the ground with a steady diet of Pinkston. He's got a first down and a big play on second down as Ken sort of foreshadowed as Pinkston takes it out to midfield.
Now you're in operating room where you can move. You got 29 seconds, no timeouts. You want to move quickly now. The clock is running. Now you want to go ahead and put it in the air.
Got 24 seconds to work with.
They're wasting way too much time here.
Blumrick will throw. He's under pressure for the first time, eludes it, and then will break free and gain a yard. Eventually tackled and brought down to the turf by B.J. Ojo. And that will do it for the first half.
And what a first half it was here at the Rig. Manvel on top, 28-24, as they battle for the 22-6A district championship.
All right, coming up very shortly. We'll be going down to Jeff Power, who will be standing by with Kirk Martin, whose team is in the lead. But Pearland were down 28-10, and now they have an opportunity late in the first half to perhaps take the lead, but they decide to go a more conservative route because they know they're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Exactly, and that goes into their train of thought about what they would do at the end of the half, and we'll go down on the field with Jeff.
We're right here with Kirk Martin. Now, first of all, Coach, your thoughts. You got out to a great start, had a lot of momentum early, but Pearland's kind of taking it over in the second quarter. What adjustments do you want to make at halftime?
Well, we got to hang on to the football offensively. I mean, we had a drive going. You know, we'd scored every series until we put the ball on the ground. And then, you know, they came back and scored on us. We've got to stop their run, you know. We've got to do a better job on their screen game. You know, obviously got to do a better job, you know, covering kickoffs. We didn't have a very good first half.
Thoughts about, in the second quarter, looked like Pearland made some adjustments defensively and put some more speed on the field to try to slow down your passing game.
Well, you know, like I said, I feel like we stopped ourselves when we fumbled the ball. I feel like we were running the ball well. You know, I mean, we're taking what they're giving us there, but we put the ball on the ground. You know, we just got to protect the football. And then they're late. You know, you got penalties that are just killing us. You know, we're just getting killed with penalties and you know, and turnovers. So we've got to control us. We got to do a better job with penalties and hanging on the football.
Very good, Kirk Martin. Halftime, 28-24. Manvel in the lead. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Jeff. Thank you very, very much. And you can tell he's not a happy camper. Started off well. Penalties, turnovers will turn a smile upside down.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of penalties for the Mavericks, but they'll go into the break with a 4-point lead here on the LSN Game of the Week.
McDonald's Dollar Menu just keeps getting better. Introducing the all-new mouth-watering grilled onion cheddar burger, topped with melty white cheddar and caramelized onions. Plus all your tasty favorites for just $1 each. Every day, as always, there's a lot to love for a little on McDonald's Dollar Menu.
Getting ready for the start of the third quarter here from the rig in Pearland, where the Manvel Mavericks have a 28-24 lead over the Pearland Oilers. A very exciting first half. At one point, Manvel led 28-10, but Pearland have scored 2 unanswered touchdowns to climb within 4, and had a chance, Ken, late in the first half, but they chose to go a little bit conservative with their offensive approach because they knew they were going to get the ball to start the second half here today.
Yeah, absolutely. A smart move by Coach Tony. He did not want to put any more pressure on his young quarterback, his young backfield with the young running back. Able to get back in the ball game. A couple of big defensive stands at the end of the half. They forced one turnover by King that turned into a touchdown. Forced them into a punt also at the end of the half. So now we go into the third period. Pearland only down 4, but they will get the football first.
And De'Eric King, awesome 221 total offensive yards, Ken, as we take a look at the halftime stats.
Yeah, absolutely. You look down at the bottom, the time of possession. Manvel scored early and often and very quickly. Only had the football for 7.5 minutes, but they didn't need it that long for the 28 points that they picked up. The big turnover was huge in the ball game. And also look at the passing yards. Manvel, De'Eric King, obviously tremendous tonight, 161 yards through the air.
You're the Pearland offensive coaching staff. What's your approach on your first possession here?
Run the football, run. You want to try to ground it out with Pinkston. He did an excellent job in the second period, behind that offensive line. You want more of the same to keep Manvel on the sideline.
Let's go down to the field now to Jeff Power.
I just talked to Tony Heath, and Ken, he did talk about running the football more in the second half. He wants to be able to control the clock and run the ball. They've also got to eliminate the quick strikes. Manvel was deadly in that first quarter with quick strike plays. They got to slow down that passing attack. Back upstairs.
Thank you very much, Jeff. So Pearland will get the ball, and they will start this third quarter on offense, and a chance to take the lead for the first time. What do you think were the adjustments in that second quarter that was alluded to in the interview with Jeff Power with Manvel head coach Kirk Martin? Even though Martin was quick to say it was mostly our own mistakes that were our undoing late in that second quarter, which allowed Pearland to get back in it and only trail by 4 at intermission. What do you think the defensive coaching staff and defensive coordinator James Farmer has been able to adjust for Pearland?
Well, one thing that they want to do for Manvel is be able to stop the running game of Pearland. They want to force them back into 2nd and long, 3rd and long, where they can put pressure on the quarterback, force him into some mistakes. The thing that worked for Pearland in that second period, they were able to pick up big yardage on first down. They put them in the 2nd and short, 3rd and short, made the game a lot more manageable for them. So if you're Manvel, what you want to do on this open possession, you want to stop them on first down, force them in the 2nd and long and 3rd and long.
Jonathan Sam and Ryan Diaz straddle Isaiah Channing. Julius Montano to kick it off to get the second half underway. High pooch kick. Gobbled in by Cody Williams. Not much yardage after the reception of the kickoff, but decent field position for the Oilers as they will go to work to start this second half from their own 30-yard line. Jake Blumrick, 100 yards passing and a touchdown he was able to find Ryan Diaz for a 41-yard touchdown. As Davier Pinkston to his left, he has a touchdown from 2 yards out. And it's 1st and 10. Begin on the ground with a flag thrown. Davier Pinkston musters back to the line of scrimmage. Ronnie Morgan is our head official tonight, and we'll check in with him downstairs for the particulars of this penalty flag.
Now, Pearland, they were able to avoid penalties in the first half. Start off this third period with a holding call, and that's going to put them right behind the 8 ball on first down as they'll go to 1st and 20.
Not the start that I'm sure Tony Heath envisioned, but nonetheless, that's what they're dealt with. So it's 1st and 20 now from the 20-yard line. 4 receivers deployed on this this first down play. 4 down defensive lineman for Manvel. On a pump fake. Blumrick up top. Out of the reach of Jonathan Sam. He had to step on the cover man. Ryan Hudson.
Just a little too much air on the football that time by Blumrick. Receiver could not run under it. It's going to be 2nd and 20.
Depending on what poll you look at, Manvel 3, Pearland 4 in the AP. Texas football have Manvel at 7, Pearland at 11.
I'm not sure about that poll.
2nd down and 20. On the run, Blumrick. Steps, fires, and it's almost intercepted by Ryan Hudson. Tried to throw it into a tight window. Blumrick almost saw it go the other way as he intended that pass to go into the arms of Ryan Diaz.
You see Coach Tony Heath laying into Blumrick there on the sideline. You don't want to force the football in. If you don't have a play, throw it away, young fella. Live for the next down. Watch him, he'll roll right. Primary receiver is covered, does a good job buying time, but a bad decision to force it into double coverage.
3rd down and 20. Pearland must get to their 40. Play it close to the vest with Pinkston. Pinkston almost to the original line of scrimmage, to the 29-yard line. He gains 9, but for the first time tonight, the Pearland Oilers will have to punt it away.
Yeah, and I would have liked to have seen that play on 2nd down to make the 3rd down play a little bit more manageable. But nevertheless, they pick up Nordish nearly back to the original line of scrimmage near the 30. But they'll have to punt it away to the Manvel Mavericks.
Cody Bernstein out to do the punting. Manvel defense forced Pearland with a holding penalty to go 3 and out. This punt won't be returned, and it's a good kick. Rolls all the way down to the Manvel 25-yard line. A 46-yard punt, the first of the night for Cody Bernstein. And now De'Eric King. 3 touchdown passes in the first half. 221 total offensive yards of the 295 picked up by Manvel in the first 24 minutes. Will lead the Manvel offense out for the first time in this 3rd quarter to operate the offense that'll begin from their own 26.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if Pearland can continue the defensive momentum they had at the end of the half, forcing Manvel into a turnover and a punt on their last 2 possessions.
They begin on the ground with Quaylen Clay, and he is blown up by Zane Gonzalez. Clay gets a yard, but it was a hard-earned yard.
Of course, Clay turned the football over early in the ball game.
That is a textbook tackle. Designed run by King. Tries to turn it upfield. He'll be stopped short of the 30-yard line. One of the shortest runs for King this evening of 2 yards. Had 60 yards in the first half on the ground when calling his own number. And now a quick 3rd down for the Maverick offense. And pre-snap penalties. It'll back Manvel up on the false start.
Well, that'll back him up a little more. That's going to make it 3rd and 11. Big 3rd down here for the Pearland defense. We'll see if they bring pressure.
Need to get to the 36. King under pressure. Escapes into the open field, makes one man miss. That was Gonzalez, but he'll still be stopped short of the yards necessary to move the chains. He gains 8 to the 33. He needed 12.
Well, I love what Pearland is doing defensively. They start with a 3-man front. Then they bring the outside linebacker from the right. They bring the inside linebacker up the A-gap. That forces King into scramble mode. They rally to the football, bring him down before he picks up the first, and another 3 and out for the Mavericks.
31-yard punt the first time Harville went out there, and this one a much better punt. All the way down to the 14-yard line.
Nice punt by the Mavericks.
53 yards for Lucas Harville. So each team trade 3 and outs on their first possessions of the third quarter. Pearland get it back, and they will operate now from their own, they'll give them the 15-yard line.
87-80, 87-97.
Big thing for the Oilers here. You don't want to start this possession with a penalty like you did on the first possession. That holding penalty put them behind the 8 ball, turned the 1st and 10 into a 1st and 20, and they could not dig out of that hole.
Delay on the give to Pinkston. Pinkston making men miss. Juking his way to the 19, gaining half the yards necessary to move the chains.
4-yard gain is going to bring up
107 yards for the sophomore on 18 rushes and a 2-yard touchdown. That came back in the first half.
Chase Kiesler on the tackle. Great job by Pinkston just to pick up positive yardage. It was a slow developing play, but he was able to be patient, work his way behind the line of scrimmage, pick up 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and short.
Pinkston came into tonight averaging just under 5 yards a carry with Diaz in motion. Back to Pinkston, surging ahead for about 4 more. May give him just 3. Nonetheless, 3rd down and about 2 yards to go for Pearland.
Both teams playing it a little close to the vest coming out here at halftime into the 3rd period.
Coming down to 7:30 remaining. Thinking about this time in the first quarter, Manvel had already put up 21.
Exactly.
3rd down and 3.
That first period was a marathon.
Give it back to Pinkston. I think he's got enough for a 1st down.
He should have it across the 25.
That would be the 11th 1st down for Pearland tonight. Ronnie Morgan says move the chains. Pearland trying to take the lead. They trail by 4. We approach 7 minutes to play, and thus far quickly moving 3rd quarter. This has been the closest these two have played since 2012, when it was a 42-28 victory for the Mavericks. On a pump fake, Blumrick airs it out up top into double coverage. Oh, what a catch by Cody Williams at the Maverick 35. 35 yards on the hookup.
To number 11, Cody Williams.
And for his first catch of the night, a beauty.
That gets the Pearland sideline excited. And you see the quarterback gets hit as he throws. The ball floats, but excellent adjustment by Williams in double coverage to come down with the football.
Shane Jackson and Deontay Anderson were there near Williams. Not much there for Davier Pinkston. He'll lose a yard. And you mentioned back in the first half how much this is like a playoff game. This is the type of competition you're going to have. You can't expect to blow out everybody 70-0, 30-3, 52-7. This game, regardless of the outcome and who wins, is going to do both teams very good heading into next week.
Absolutely.
Blumrick on the play fake, steps, throws it deep into the end zone. It's underthrown, and it's incomplete. Diaz in a jump ball with Hudson.
Nice
Ball
pass
falls incomplete at the 1-yard line.
Ryan Hudson.
And Diaz had a step once again, but Jake Blumrick unable to get the football there to him on time. He waited too long to release it. That allowed the defensive back to make up the ground and deflect the football. Watch it here. He'll roll left, square his body, again under pressure, so he couldn't get a lot into the throw. Excellent defensive play in the secondary by number 13, Hudson.
3rd down and 12 for Pearland on the Manvel 36. Blumrick fires, complete. Desitel, the tight end. It's going to be short of the first down.
Complete, number 94, Ryan Desitel.
No, it looks like he got it by maybe a yard, 11 yards on the pass play. And a big 3rd down conversion on 3rd down and 12.
First and 10 for Pearland.
Good job by Ryan coming back for the football, then making a move. He knew where the sticks were for the first down, and he was able to get the yard to gain.
1st and 10 for the Manvel 22. Pinkston bubbles on the exchange from the quarterback Blumrick. However, Pearland have recovered, so they'll keep going.
And that was on the spot,
Diaz.
Yeah, Ryan Diaz. Ball just rolled to him like a shortstop. He was able to fall on it. Again, slow developing play. The tight end pulling. Again, just a little mix-up on the exchange between Blumrick and Pinkston.
Blumrick with pressure on the outside. Pass almost intercepted. Route was jumped by Hudson.
Nice defensive play by number 13.
The pass was intended for Ryan Diaz, and now it's quickly again a 3rd down and long scenario for the Pearland offense.
Yeah, it was a front side blitz that time, dialed up by the defensive coaching staff of Manvel.
Pearland 5 of 8 on 3rd downs tonight. They need another 12. On the rollout, pass complete. Cody Williams on the out route inside the 20, well short of the distance needed.
Number 11, Cody Williams.
Down to the 18, a 6-yard reception. And a decision to be made by Tony Heath, and he will send the field goal unit out to try to cut into this lead. And Keller, who hit from 42 back in the first half, will have a shot from about 36.
Yeah, there's virtually no wind in the stadium, so he shouldn't be affected at all. He just has to make sure he gets the proper hook on the football as it's lined up on the right hash.
Officially a 35-yard kick. It is on the way, and it is good. So the Manvel lead cut to 1. Mavericks 28, the Oilers 27.
Star Ford and get a free Yeti cooler. How about an F-150, $11,000 off or $299 a month and a free Yeti cooler. Huge discounts, most for your trade, 0% financing, and a free Yeti cooler. $14,000 off F-250s. That's an F-250, $14,000 off or $399 a month. Or how about shop 24/7 BigStarFord.com. Just 10 miles south of downtown Houston on 288. You drive, we listen.
At Neighbors Emergency Center, we don't just save lives, we save
mothers, sons,
Best friends. Little ones.
running partners, wives.
At Neighbors Emergency Center, you're not just a patient, you're a top priority. Neighbors Emergency Center. Care that counts. Experience that matters.
Ascent Game of the Week is presented by Big Star Ford. You drive, we listen. Pooch kick executed by the new kicker, Connor Leneman. Manvel will get some good field position. Start outside of their own 30.
Number 5, Reggie Hemphill Maps on the return.
Keller 2 for 2 kicking field goals tonight, Ken.
Yeah, absolutely. He caps off a 9-play, 68-yard drive. Took 4 minutes and 8 seconds off the clock. Keller with a 35-yard field goal, and he cuts the Manvel lead to 28-27. The Mavericks had a 28-10 lead late in the second period before Pearland began their comeback. They've scored 17 straight.
King fires, complete to Haynes, and again the Pearland defense right there with a flag thrown.
Pass is complete to number 2, Gary Haynes.
Tackle was made by Ronnie Frazier. We'll check the flag. Could be on Pearland defensively. Face mask on the Oilers. Big penalty. And it was Zane Gonzalez.
Well, you know what? He did not grab the face mask. He grabbed him around the neck area in the front, right under his collar. That was a bad call and a big break for the Mavericks.
King on the design run, calls his own number, runs into the umpire, out of bounds, thrown out of bounds by Daniel Petty, short of the Pearland 30-yard line. King hops up, has some words to say.
Good job by the officials.
It's a 22-yard run for De'Aaron King. Gives him 92 on 7 rushes. And the 12th first down for Manvel tonight as we take a look at the replay here. First and 10, back to live action. Pass complete to Dykes. And Sean Dykes, wearing number 15 tonight, works it down to the 16-yard line. 14 more yards picked up and another Manvel first down.
That face mask penalty was a huge turn of events in this ballgame.
King, right up the middle, lowers his shoulder and starts to get pushed back right near the first down marker, and a late flag thrown.
King on the carry, we had a late flag on the play.
Well, you got to see the officials try to keep this game under control. Things starting to get a little chippy here late in the third period. A one-point ball game and a bragging rights and a district championship and a state ranking all on the line here in this season finale.
Personal foul called on Pearland. So after a 9-yard run, half the distance to the goal, and Manvel in business at the Pearland 4. First down and goal for De'Aaron King and the Mavericks. Pearland have scored the last 17. King to the back corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Hemphill. That's the third time those two have locked up for a touchdown tonight. And the Manvel Mavericks extend their lead to 7. And with the point after, could very well take an 8-point lead. And it is good from Montano. 35-27. Mavericks with the lead.
That was quick.
This was you. You've been trying to get me to eat egg whites for years. You went and talked to McDonald's?
Oh, an Egg White Delight McMuffin.
Oh, I knew it.
The new Egg White Delight McMuffin. Freshly grilled egg whites and creamy white cheddar. Also available on any of your favorites. It's another new way to love McDonald's.
This is good.
Yeah, it's better than good.
Do you remember my latte?
Oh, yeah, but it's in the car.
That's good.
Buy a new Ford truck today at Big Star Ford and get a free Yeti cooler. How about an F-150, $11,000 off or $299 a month and a free Yeti cooler. Huge discounts, most for your trade, 0% financing, and a free Yeti cooler. $14,000 off F-250s. That's an F-250, $14,000 off or $399 a month. Or how about shop 24/7 BigStarFord.com. Just 10 miles south of downtown Houston on 288. You drive, we listen.
Manvel back in the end zone for the first time in seemingly forever. But they break a streak of 17 consecutive points scored by the Oilers. Montano delivers the kickoff. Oh, what a hit downfield. Cameron Batts. Brady Basso, you will remember the name, Cameron Batts. The Oilers will start from their own 24, trailing by 8 with 3:13 to go in the third.
from the Pearland.
That last drive took only 3 official plays. The 4-yard touchdown pass to Reggie Hemphill. PAT good, back to an 8-point spread.
Shotgun for Blumrick. Fires, complete. Cody Williams wants some contact before forced out of bounds by Will Lockett. Reception of 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2.
Oilers out near the 32-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd and 2 for Pearland.
Last drive by Manvel, 69 yards, took 1 minute and 17 seconds. They jump offside on this play. Quarterback takes a hit.
They decided to take a chance, and Cody Williams comes up hobbling as he was running that pass route up the sideline. So we have a break in the action. I know, Ken, you were talking about the face mask during our break in that last Manvel series.
Well, it was a huge play because Pearland had been playing so well defensively. This is a 2nd down play, and this is
the one you didn't
right
think
here.
that he got.
See, he's inside the jersey. He never touched the face mask. And that's a huge 15-yard penalty. It's an automatic 1st down. So instead of 3rd and long for Manvel, now they get that momentum going 1st and 10, and that's just a huge momentum shift in this game.
Cody Williams is being treated on the field. He's going to be able to be pulled up, and he'll walk off under his own power, which is an obvious good sign. And in talking with Tony Heath on Wednesday, he was mentioning, we asked him, you know, sometimes in the NFL, when you know what your destination is, regardless of the outcome in a Week 17 matchup, you just hit your starters. You let the backups play, or the starters will see limited time just to get some game action. And in the situation where you do already have, you know, some nicks and some bumps and bruises, would you elect to keep some people out? And he said, yes, I would. But you don't want to see one of your guys like Cody Williams get hurt in that final game. That is what makes this last regular season game just so iffy. You know, it's really tough to be a coach and your approach going into a game when you know what's in your immediate future.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's absolutely right about that.
1st and 10. Pinkston gobbled up at the line of scrimmage and dropped back for a 2-yard loss.
Well, you saw some pre-snap movement there by the defensive front of Manvel. Well, the defensive lineman jumped across, but Pearland never reacted. If Pearland would have reacted, they would have automatically drawn the 5-yard offside penalty, but they did not snap the football. That allowed Manvel to get back, get set, and the result, they dropped the running back for a 2-yard loss.
Steven Scott came in with 25 tackles on the season, is forced to fumble this year, dropping Pinkston for the loss. And Blumwick will fire over the middle, and that one through the hands of Jonathan Sam. Got to help your quarterback out, especially against a team like Manvel. Passes that should be caught, that aren't caught, really isn't acceptable.
Blumwick put a lot of mustard on that one. I'm not sure if Jerry Rice could have caught that pass.
Don't sell Jerry Rice short. Big 3rd down here for Pearland as they try to answer the Maverick touchdown, which put the Mavericks up by 8. It is 3rd down and 12 for Pearland. They'll scrimmage from their own 35. Blumrick under pressure. Eludes the sack, gains positive yards out to the 41. And he'll be 6 yards short of a 1st down.
Bring up 4th and 6 for Pearland.
Oilers are going to have to give the ball back to the Mavericks unless Tony Heath elects to go for it here, and the punt team's going to come out. And a good call as Cody Bernstein will trot on, delivered a punt earlier, 46 yards.
You always have to beware of some trick plays as Manvel has 2 deep receivers ready to receive this kick.
End over end kick from Bernstein, and it rolls all the way down inside the 10. Fabulous punt by Bernstein. Down at the 8-yard line.
53 yards on the punt and roll, and Manvel will start with their backs against the end zone. Their worst field position of the night.
It'll certainly be the longest they'll have to traverse. Get back into the promised land. 74 seconds left to play in the third quarter, an 8-point spread. Line of scrimmage at the 8-yard line on 1st and 10. Pass complete. Austin Alexis, his first catch of the night, takes it out to the 11, takes it out to about the 15, maybe the 16-yard line. If it's the 16, it's an 8-yard catch.
Austin Alexis. 8-yard gain to bring up 2nd and 2 for Pearland. Sorry, for Manvel.
Manvel 12 of 17 with De'Aaron King throwing the football, 187 yards and 4 touchdowns, 3 to Reggie Hemphill. He's going to throw Will King short of the first down marker, but a diving catch made by Gary Haynes. He's going to lose a couple actually back to the 15.
You see these secondary guys playing with a lot more tenacity. Big third down coming up.
King scrambles to his left, trots for a first down. Angled out of bounds on the pursuit was Zane Gonzalez.
Out near the 24-yard line.
Gain of 9.
For a first down.
That is the second third down conversion for Manvel tonight, and they haven't had many third downs. King 9 rushes for 110 yards. 1st and 10 for the Mavericks, and King will call his own number again. Tackled short of the 30-yard line. 5-yard scamper.
You see the Oilers doing a much better job of rallying to the football. And again, forcing King to head towards the sideline instead of up the field.
That's the end of the third quarter. The score, the Manvel Mavericks 35, the Pearland Oilers 27. Here from the rig in Pearland.
Truck today at Big Star Ford and get a free Yeti cooler. How about an F-150, $11,000 off or $299 a month and a free Yeti cooler. Huge discounts, most for your trade, 0% financing, and a free Yeti cooler. $14,000 off F-250s. That's an F-250, $14,000 off or $399 a month. Or how about shop 24/7 BigStarFord.com. Just 10 miles south of downtown Houston on 288. You drive, we listen.
Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Big Star Ford. You drive, we listen. By First Community Credit Union, think first. By Matter Staffing Services, our talent is finding yours. By O'Reilly Auto Parts, professional parts people with 2 convenient locations on Broadway in Pearland and on Highway 6 by Manvel High School. Stop by today. And by Joe's Barbecue. In Alvin, it's all about the barbecue. Visit joesbarbecuecompany.com. Our producer is Scott Sullivan. Director Matt Broussard, our entire LSN technical team. Ken Moore, Jeff Power, Michael Silvers with you. Glad to have you from the rig in Pearland. Start of the fourth quarter. Manvel 35, Pearland 27. 2nd down and 5. De'Aaron King with a screen pass. Quaylen Clay gets another yard to the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Mavericks.
Another big defensive opportunity coming up now for the Oilers. They need a stop. They trail by 8.
3rd and 4 for Manvel.
5 straight completions for De'Aaron King, who has thrown for 4 touchdowns tonight. 3 to Reggie Hemphill through a touchdown to Sean Dykes on the game's first play. King will throw, incomplete. Miscommunication on the route ran by Gary Haynes on the far side.
Yeah, King
so now it's 4th down. Excuse me, Ken.
Yeah, he expected Haynes to do a down and out. And Haynes kept up the field. The inside slot receiver turned inside.
Harville's last punt traveled 53 yards. Personnel late coming on the field. And Tony Heath is hot. Burns a timeout, his first of the fourth quarter, his first of the second half. You wonder if that's going to come back to bite them late in this period.
Well, of course, they didn't have any timeouts at the end of the first half when they got the football with about 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining.
A touchdown and a 2-point conversion would tie the game, but Pearland have to get back into the end zone. They've only been able to muster a field goal in this second half. It was a 7-3 third quarter for the Manvel Mavericks. Took them a while to get back into the end zone. Pearland's defense started to find a recipe for success. And Tony Heath was telling us during the week, the key to beating Manvel, they're going to score their points. We would prefer them to have to do it in 10 to 12 plays.
Yeah, absolutely. The more plays, the more opportunity you have for a mistake. King in pooch punt formation. I would expect the pooch punt here.
He's going to try to run it.
Boy.
De'Aaron King in trouble, and he's not going to get it. He's going to be stopped short. They may measure. I don't think he got it from this distance. Oh, that takes a lot of courage if you're coach.
Wow.
The stature of Kirk Martin to keep your offense out there, it's awfully close. It's going to be a measurement.
I really thought he was just going to pooch punt the football. There was no one back for Pearland, but he kept it. We'll see if he got it.
A stretch of the chains. Pearland ball. They stopped the junior De'Aaron King.
And your Oiler offense will take over.
And a very short field for the Oiler offense and Jake Blumrick.
I'm not sure I understand that call with an 8-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Michael Provenzano, Courtney Kircher, Michael Gilardi, Mauricio Cantu, Dave Hickey.
Pearland will begin from the Manvel 33. Pistol look. Pinkston.
Oh, wow.
Hit hard at the line, bounces off and gains a pair.
He may have just run into the back of one of his own linemen.
We also want to thank Memorial.
Yards a little more hard to come by for Davier Pinkston in the second half.
Special thanks to all the video teachers here in Pearland ISD for their support this past
Of course, we had
Miss Denise Hahn,
31 points scored in the first 6 minutes of the ball game.
and Miss Laura McClellan.
Now these state-ranked defenses have tightened the screws.
Both teams came in 9-0 on 2nd down and 8. Blumrick slings it up the sideline. And it's caught but out of bounds by Desitel. Jordan Carmouche there on the coverage.
Yeah, this is a Pearland team that only gives up 7 points a game. Manvel gives up less than 11 points per game, so this is two teams that are not used to being scored upon.
39 for
Pearland 50% on third downs. 3rd down and 9 from the Maverick 32, trying to capitalize on a turnover on downs on a fake punt, fake pooch punt look, stopping De'Aaron King a yard short. The senior Blumrick scrambles to his right. Fires complete, it looks like. Nope, out of bounds. Cody Williams at the sideline, and now you're sort of in no man's land if you're Tony Heath. You're probably too far to send Keller out there, but you don't want to punt it away also.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely not going to punt at the 32, so you're going to probably line up and go for it here on 4th and 10.
Blumrick is 11 of 21, 158 yards and a touchdown. He has missed on his last 3 pass attempts. The Oilers must get to the Manvel 23 on 4th down and 7. Pressure comes. Blumrick fires against the grain. Incomplete. A turnover on downs as the Manvel Maverick defense hold. And they'll get the offense back out on the field with an 8-point cushion.
Well, back-to-back 4 and outs, if you will, by these ball clubs as the defenses rise to the occasion. So now it'll be Manvel's turn with an 8-point lead in the football with 10:14 to go in the season.
Garrett King will begin alone out of the shotgun. He deploys 5 receivers. Flag. Manvel again will be called for a false start. This is their 10th penalty.
And a lot of pre-snap penalties.
But the good news is you heard Kirk Martin say as he was going into the locker room with Jeff Power down on the field, got to stop with the penalties. We're killing ourselves with penalties. They had 8 in the first half, just 2 so far in the second half. So they've essentially cleaned that part of their game up.
They were able to overcome the penalties in the first half. We'll see if they can overcome them here as this ball game gets into stretch.
King immediately in trouble. Forced to run, he dives forward, picking up a couple of yards. Pressure was coming from Deontay Givens on the outside. Inside the final 10 minutes here at the rig.
Garrett King, he's a tough customer. He's been running the football a lot tonight, probably a little more than the coaching staff would like, headed into a playoff game next week. Uh-oh.
Drops the snap, has to improvise. And Garrett King has a first down. Tackled from behind by Deontay Givens at the 47-yard line. He gallops for 14.
Sometimes the best play are the plays that don't make any sense at all because you get the defense all out of whack. It's almost like a muff punt where everyone gets out of their rushing lanes and allows King to escape for a first down.
And on first down, plenty of time. And a deep ball up the seam, and it's dropped by Clay. Waylon Clay has had a night to forget. Fumbled earlier in the first half. Drops what would have probably been a sure touchdown as he was open in the zone coverage. He just couldn't haul it in.
Well, I'm going to tell you what happened here. King had all day to throw the ball. Clay so wide open, he had to wait on the football, and he saw the defender running at him. So what happens is, as a receiver, you get overly anxious, and that's what happened. He dropped the ball.
King hesitates, then runs. Stopped at the 49.5-yard line. Third down and long, facing Manvel. Just inside their own half of the field.
Now, no excuse to drop it, but if King leads him on that play where he doesn't have to think about it, he can just run and catch it. It makes it a much easier grab.
This is like a heavyweight fight. 2 undefeateds. It's going 12 rounds, folks. Third down and 8. King, loads of time. It collapses and down he goes. Dylan Roach drops King for a 1-yard loss back at the 48-yard line.
Excellent coverage in the secondary by Pearland. Great job by the offensive line. King had all day, but no one was open. He decides to run, and then he's crushed.
Harville out for the punt. No doubt about it, he's going to kick this one away. Good. Oh, what a beautiful kick. And traversing to his right to make the grab, Ryan Diaz. Pearland will have to go 80 yards. 7:51 remaining here at their home field.
Oiler offense will take the field. It's going to be first and 10 for Pearland.
You have to wonder if you're Pearland, how many more opportunities will you get to handle the football?
That was a 32-yard punt, by the way.
You're probably looking at a maximum of 3, probably 2 more opportunities, 2 more possessions in this ball game.
Pinkston in the backfield with Blumrick. Give it to Davier. Those squirt free only for a yard to the 21. And what a job done by this Manvel defense containing Pinkston. He hasn't been able to break one at all here in the second half.
Yeah, and obviously they made some great adjustments at halftime to slow down that running game of Pearland that really got on track in the second period. And they've been able to shut them down here in the third and fourth quarter.
timeout. Offensive coaching staff and head coach Tony Heath did not like what they saw. 35-27. Manvel out in front by 8.
Truck today at Big Star Ford and get a free Yeti cooler. How about an F-150 at $11,000 off or $299 a month and a free Yeti cooler. Huge discounts, most for your trade, 0% financing, and a free Yeti cooler. $14,000 off F-250s. That's an F-250, $14,000 off or $399 a month. Or how about shop 24/7 BigStarFord.com. Just 10 miles south of downtown Houston on 288. You drive, we listen.
And welcome back to Pearland, 35-27. The Mavericks of Manvel leading right now. Just want to update the playoff situation for you. Last year, you might remember, Manvel beat LaPorte in the playoffs last year rather convincingly. The game was played over in Deer Park back in November 15th. It was a by-district matchup. 45-21 was the final. It looks like they could possibly play them again. If LaPorte wins tonight, they would play Beaumont Westbrook. But right now, LaPorte is trailing Channelview 37-20. So if that holds true, Manvel would then play LaPorte. We'll keep you posted.
All right, thanks, Jeff. And for Pearland, their destiny are the Deer Park Deer next Friday night. Blumrick throws it deep. Incomplete. Lockett, the closest one to it. Cody Williams, the intended target, as Blumrick has to be helped up off the field. So now it's third down again for the Oilers. It'll be third down and 8. And Jeff mentioned, the Manvel-LaPorte matchup, and that could very well be the case again next week. Next week's game, Pearland-Deer Park, is a rematch from last year. So after the incomplete pass, the 5th straight for Jake Blumrick, Pearland will scrimmage third down and 8 from their own 22.
Blumrick's really been struggling here in the second half.
Pressure comes. Blumrick throws across the sideline, and that is complete to Williams, short of the 30.
Number 11.
It's going to be short of the first down.
Good pressure once again from the interior of the Manvel defense, forcing Blumrick to roll out of the pocket before he's ready. He did a good job finding a receiver downfield. Pass was juggled, but they give him the reception. It's going to be 4th and 1 at the 29, and they leave the offense on the field. And now we're going to have another timeout, this time by the Mavericks, their first.
Mavericks call their first timeout, stops the clock with 6:40 to play. Obviously, the Mavericks saw that the offense of the Pearland Oilers had remained on the field, so they obviously want to get something coordinated here with defensive coordinator Flash Burns.
Oilers want to thank Flash Keys in Silver Lake. All-State Insurance and All-State Insurance agent.
Manvel have never lost to the Pearland Oilers. 2 years ago, 42-28 victory in this stadium. Last year in Alvin, a 42-7 victory. In their last 3 games at the Rig, the Mavericks have averaged 49 points per game, including 2 wins against Dawson. The last loss they suffered on this turf was against the Dawson Eagles back in 2009. Both teams were in the 4A classification. Now both Dawson and Manvel playing in Class 6A. Tells you a lot about the growth in the Pearland and Alvin areas. A lot of the students that attend Manvel High School live in the city limits of Pearland and live in Shadow Creek Ranch in that community. 4th down and a yard. Blumrick will keep it. Blumrick will lean over the 30, and again, it'll depend on the spot. From here, it looks like he's got it. Tony Heath is energized. And Blumrick will have enough for the first down. We saw the courage it took for Kirk Martin to have Derek King run a 4th down play deep in their own territory. Same could be said for Tony Heath and the courage to keep the offense out on the field in much deeper territory. Blumrick comes through, 1st and 10. 14th first down for Pearland. Here's Pinkston breaking one free. Out to the 43-yard line, 12 yards on the pickup, tackled by Anderson, another first down for Pearland.
We had a big, strong quarterback to run it with on that 4th down play in Blumerick, and he was able to use his size and strength to pick up the first down. And then Pinkston comes right back with the off-tackle blast play, pick up another big gain of 13 yards and a first down.
Halfway through the 4th quarter, 35-27, the Oilers trail the Mavericks. Pinkston turns it upfield as he gets to the edge. He fumbled the football. It was advanced forward by one of the linemen, Justin Lilly. But I don't think you're allowed to do much advancing. But nonetheless, another first down for Pinkston. And the Oilers coughed it up, but it's down to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, Pinkston took a big hit right there. The ball squirted free. And Johnny on the spot was Lilly to pick it up, pick up some extra yards.
All told, an 18-yard play, Ken.
Yeah, forward progress down to the 38. Oilers on the move.
That's Pinkston again. Down to the 29-yard line. 9 yards for Pinkston. He is now rumbled for 140 yards on 28 rushes and a touchdown. And it's good to get the confidence right back into the sophomore after coughing it up. They give it right back to him.
And they're running over that right side. Off tackle. Let's see if they go to it again.
2nd and a yard. Pinkston tries the right side again. Turns it up and takes a shoulder. Colin Scott on the tackle, but it'll be another first down for the Oilers.
We had Brady Brazo, the wide receiver, pulling on the play. Only problem is he didn't block anyone. He just kept running upfield, and that's the reason why it was a short gain on the play. You got one of the big linemen shaking up for Pearland. Looks like that's number 73, Willie Williams, as he limps off.
Williams is the only senior in the starting offensive line. Adam Jewell talked about Justin Lilly, Gino Cortez, all juniors. Joseph Williams, a sophomore at center. From the 27, first down and 10. Keep it on the ground with Davier Pinkston. Pinkston to the 15. Pinkston dives to the pylon. He's short. Out of bounds at the 2. 25 yards for Davier Pinkston, and it's first down and goal to go for the Oilers.
This time they go to the delayed draw. 22 draw up the middle. Pinkston picking his way, eluding tacklers, gets down near the pylon. It's first and goal for Pearland. What a ball game coming down the stretch.
Anderson forced him out of bounds. First and goal from the 2. Pinkston gobbled up for a 2-yard loss.
And again, the inside running play goes nowhere behind center and guard. They've had all of their success off tackle to the right side. That play loses a yard, 2nd and goal.
Keep in mind, folks, Pearland has to score and then convert a 2-point conversion to tie things up with the Mavericks.
And keep in mind, they also only have 1 timeout remaining.
2nd down and goal. Line of scrimmage is at the 4-yard line. That's Diaz in motion. On the ground, Pinkston bounces off tacklers. May have gotten a yard back down to the 3.
This time they fake the jet sweep and then run it up the middle to Pinkston. But again, I think you have to continue to go off right tackle. Of course, Williams is out, the starting right tackle, but again, you've had success going that way.
Here's Pinkston. Touchdown! And a 2-point conversion away from a tie game. Ken Moore was absolutely right on the money. Going to the right side of the offensive line, it paid dividends. And now the all-important 2-point try.
Yeah, they just changed it up a little bit on that play. They brought him from left to right, but nevertheless, running behind the right side of that line has been money tonight. Now they line up in a full house backfield.
For the two-point conversion, a pitch to Pinkston. A reverse. Sam will throw to the end zone, and it's intercepted. I beg your pardon, that was Williams on the throw. They tried a little trick play. Manvel come up with the stop with 3:16 to go. The deficit is 2 for the Oilers.
If you're anything like most Texans, you're always on the go. Good thing First Community Credit Union's mobile app makes it easy to do my banking anywhere, anytime. I have Texans checking, even mobile deposits, and text banking. Join me on the FCCU winning team. Go online today and experience a first-rate difference.
Be a part of the team. Sign up for Texans Checking today. First Community Credit Union, the official credit union of the Houston Texans and personal choice of Brian Cushing.
All right, here's another look at the two-point try. It was drawn up well. The execution, though, a little short to Blumrick, and just a great read by the Manvel Mavericks. They were not fooled whatsoever. Let's check in with Jeff Power.
Yeah, they would have liked to have had Willie Williams on that last two-point conversion, but he's cramping up right now. He's got a right leg cramp. They went for 2, didn't get it. That could prove costly, down 35-33 with 3:16 to play. Back upstairs.
All right, Ken, in the particulars of the drive, which saw Pearland get back into the end zone, but fail on the two-point conversion.
10-play, 80-yard drive, 4 minutes, 35 seconds off the clock. Pinkston, 4-yard touchdown run, but they missed the two-point conversion on the flea flicker. Pearland holds on to the lead, or actually down by 2, I should say. Manvel holding on to the lead. 35-33, just over 3 minutes to go in this one.
Manvel were playing for the onside kick. Kick downfield to Haynes. Haynes so hard to bring down. Takes it out to the 35-yard line. 1 timeout remaining for Pearland. The Mavericks have 2. Time is of the essence for both teams, for Manvel to hold on, and for Pearland to try to get the ball back and with enough time to take it down into field goal position and try to win it late. D'Eriq King will do everything he can to will the Mavericks to victory and to win this first ever District 22 6A championship. 4 receivers in the lineup. King fashions a run for himself, breaks a tackle in the backfield. Across the 40 to the 42-yard line, a 7-yard run for D'Eriq King. He'll be second and short.
They're going to lean on the junior quarterback to try to will them to this victory here tonight in the district championship.
King only had 69 yards last week, 2 touchdowns against Pasadena Memorial.
Yeah, Pearland only has 1 timeout remaining. Remember, they had to burn 2 earlier in the half. 10 seconds on the play clock.
King, 16 rushes, 143 yards tonight, 4 touchdown throws. On the ground, Clay. Quaylen Clay lost the football.
Again.
The second fumble by Quaylen Clay. There's a pile at the 35. Oh, the suspense building inside the rig. Who has the football? Manvel recovered.
Oh, boy. Maybe time for Quaylen Clay to take a seat on the bench.
22 yards on the run.
My goodness. And Pearland had every opportunity to gobble that one up. Watch Clay here, just not protecting the football, carrying it too loose.
And nobody knocked it away. It didn't look like there was no contact or any contact.
He's carrying it like a loaf of bread.
Daniel Petty dove, but I don't think he made any sort of contact with Clay.
Nevertheless, it's a first down, a new set of downs.
And the clock moving to 2 minutes remaining.
Pearland can only stop it 1 time.
D'Eriq King, coaching staff, There's Kirk Martin on the headset. Play clock inside 20 seconds, so right now that's not an issue to get a play run off, but you want to use all of it. Tony Heath is on this near sideline screaming at the linesman off camera here. And King on the play fake.
Oh, man.
Right to the line of scrimmage.
He took a shot that time. Joey Longoria delivered the blow. And I think Pearland's going to go ahead and use their final timeout.
Essentially, because of the play clock at 25 seconds, Manvel can essentially run this out, and even if they turned it over on downs, it wouldn't leave a lot of time for Pearland here with 1:14 remaining at the rig and no timeouts for Tony Heath's team.
Well, you mentioned early in the third quarter when they had to use one of those timeouts early, if it could come back to haunt them, and indeed it will in these final seconds. Of course, the winner showdown of undefeated teams, top 5 in the state. Both will be #1 seeds going into the playoffs in Division I and Division II next week. But a lot of pride on the line here in the final minute 21.
1:21 remaining. Keep it on the ground. King takes it down to the 30. 4 more yards picked up. That's 147 yards on 18 carries. Clock down to officially 1 minute to go. And a 3rd down and 4 play forthcoming for Manvel.
Now, Manvel may let this go all the way down and call a timeout themselves.
Why not?
To decide what they want to do on 4th down, or excuse me, on 3rd down.
Play clock down to 3, down to 2, and the timeout taken by Kirk Martin. And that'll essentially do it, really. Clock is stopped with 33 seconds to go. Two-point win seems to be a very, it seems like that's what's going to happen here unless there's a catastrophe on behalf It all looks like victory is certain for the Manvel Mavericks for a 3rd consecutive year. But this will be the closest margin of victory by the Mavericks against the Pearland Oilers. 42-28 2 seasons ago, 35-point win in Alvin last year, 42-7 the final. Victory formation in the hybrid style that is the shotgun victory formation. And that'll do it. Our player of the game tonight is brought to you by Neighbors Emergency Center, and it's none other than number 10 for the Manvel Mavericks, De'Aaron King. 147 rushing yards, 187 passing yards, 4 touchdown passes, 3 to Reggie Hemphill, 1 on the game's opening play to Sean Dykes as the teams exchange handshakes at midfield. At one point it was 28-10 Ken Moore. Pearland didn't roll over and die, didn't realize, hey, we're in over our heads. We have a playoff game to think about next week. Battle to the very end and a 2-point defeat as Manvel win for the 3rd consecutive year and are the outright District 22 6A champions tonight.
Well, congratulations to Manvel, but major props to Pearland. They showed the type of resolve that got them all the way to the state championship game last season. Remember last year, they took that big whipping in the final game against Manvel, 42-7. But something in them drove them all the way to the state championship game. They brought that same resolve back this season, and even though they got down big early in this one, 28-10, down by 18 points, down by 21-3 at one point in the ball game, they found a way to fight back and came within a 2-point conversion of possibly sending this one into overtime.
King with 5 total touchdowns. May have forgot one of those rushing touchdowns. He did run for 38 yards. And our Neighbors Emergency Center player of the game, is standing by down on the field with Jeff Power.
Yeah, our Neighbors Emergency Player of the game is Reggie Hemphill Maps. First of all, 3 touchdowns. You stepped up big today. Give me your thoughts about beating Pearland now. This is the 3rd time you guys have beaten them.
Yes, sir. They're a good team, and we don't play that many good teams now this year, and I'm glad we played them last so we can go in the playoffs on a high note.
Give me your thoughts overall, what it feels like to come out here and battle a team like Pearland now that you're going into the postseason. Looks like you're probably going to play LaPorte in the playoffs. You guys feel like y'all are primed and ready to make a state championship run?
Yes, sir. This game proves that. We got to keep fighting like you seen today. Oh, man, I'm speechless.
Tell me about your quarterback right here, Derek King. I mean, you guys, y'all are a great tandem out here. Derek, you had a good game as well. Give me your thoughts.
I mean, it was a good game. Both teams came out here and played good, and I'm just thankful we came out with the victory.
What's it mean just to beat Pearland? I mean, you guys are 3-0 against them. Y'all have won 4 straight games here at the Rig. I mean, what y'all got the mojo going here in Pearland?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great feeling. I mean, Pearland's a good team, and like I said, I'm just thankful we came out with the victory.
Final thoughts as you guys head off to the postseason. Y'all ready for LaPorte?
Oh, yes, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Congratulations. Good luck. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, that's our Neighbors Emergency Players of the game. De'Aaron King, of course, having a big game as well at quarterback position, and also Reggie Hemphill Maps. Let's go ahead and send it back upstairs.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff Power. It's a final here at the Rig in Pearland, 35-33. Let's take a look at our play of the game, and right off the bat, Manvel set the tone on the game's opening play from scrimmage.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to see the touchdown strike right over the middle, wide open. And this was right after a big kickoff return on the first play of the game. And this really set the stage for an explosive first quarter where Manvel actually went up 21-3, extended it to 28-10 before Pearland mounted their comeback.
That play of the game brought to you by Pearland Driving School. It was 28-10. We mentioned it earlier. Back in the first half, Pearland went on a run, and they were only down by 4. Then Manvel scored. Pearland got back on the board, 35-33 the final. You heard Jeff Power talking with De'Aaron King and Reggie Hemphill. They're ready for LaPorte. Should it be LaPorte next week? I think Manvel are at least destined to get back to the regional championship game and a date with the Katy Tigers, unless teams who are very qualified trip them up.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse, but of course those are going to be the 2 favorites to come out of the Region 3 area, Manvel and Katy, in this division. And it's going to be very, very important for De'Aaron King to use the experience that he gained last year. Again, he's just a junior, had the experience of going deep into the playoffs as a sophomore. Now he can improve upon that and hopefully get his team up into AT&T Stadium up in Dallas in December.
And Pearland have a rematch with the Deer Park Deer next week to open up their 2014 playoff campaign. What a way to close out the regular season. Wouldn't want to have it any other way. The final score, the Manvel Mavericks 35, the Pearland Oilers 33. For Jeff Power, Ken Moore, and our entire Legacy Sports Network crew, it's been a pleasure. So long, everybody.
Today at Big Star Ford and get a free Yeti cooler. How about an F-150, $11,000 off or $299 a month and a free Yeti cooler. Huge discounts, most for your trade, 0% financing, and a free Yeti cooler. $14,000 off F-250s. That's an F-250, $14,000 off or $399 a month. Or how about shop 24/7 BigStarFord.com. Just 10 miles south of downtown Houston on 288. You drive, we listen.
It's time! Join the fun at the Texas Renaissance Festival, happening every weekend now through November 30th. Brought to you by Coke and the DeMontron Auto Group. Huzzah!